We did have the topic of having to steal a player from Buffalo. The obvious answers are a healthy Ed Oliver or a James Cook. But I said, why not take Josh Allen and have him and Mahomes line up in the backfield, and then you have no idea what you're going to do. And, boy, that Taysom Hill thing in New Orleans when it was kind of, cattywampus, you didn't know what could you imagine? Number 17 and number 15, and you have no idea who throws the ball.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. I would still have number 15 throw the ball more often, but you can use 17 in a variety of ways for obviously his skills in terms of being just a menacing ball carrier. Yeah, I mean, I think most Chiefs fans would probably pick James Cook over Ed Oliver. It's unfortunate that, Oliver had his injury last week in Carolina. But yeah, I mean, if you just want to run an offense where you're like, we don't even need, receivers half the time,
right.
That's fine with me.
Am I wrong by saying when I look at it, Nate, is that the Chiefs are better at just about every position other than the James Cook spot right now?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Thank
you could make an argument for the Bills' offensive line, just because they've been one of the better offensive lines over the last, I would at least say 2 to 3 years. It's a preference of like, hey, do you like Deion Dawkins more than whoever the Chiefs have right now left tackle? Of course, is Jalen Moore for Sunday's game. I would always say, hey, I'd probably want Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith more. But I think there's a case to be made for Buffalo's offensive line. When it comes to receiver, no. Tight end, no. Cornerback, God, no. Their safeties are in a world of trouble. They've really never developed that position, which is why it was so important for them that DeMar Hamlin actually come back and, return to playing football, despite him having the cardiac arrest on that Monday night game in Cincinnati. I'm trying to go up and down the list. I mean, linebacker, no. Defensive line, I mean, both defensive lines are banged up, but hey, one has Chris Jones, one doesn't, so no. Kicker, no. Punter, no. I think Myron Rice has had a pretty good season, even though he has had limited opportunities compared to what we saw last year. So I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something, and I think that's why, the argument for why Josh Allen won the MVP last year, even though statistically he didn't have a better season than Lamar Jackson, is, hey man, look who he's doing it with, and look at him just be a superhero, Sunday after Sunday. That's why he won the MVP, and of course it was his first time winning, where of course we've seen Patrick, we've seen Lamar win multiple MVPs, so this is something new. The Bills had done a marvelous job, despite having, a kind of less than desired roster. But yeah, I think we should all understand that the difficulty level on the video game is a little bit higher for Josh Allen than it is for Patrick Mahomes right now.
No doubt. Nate, I'm glad you brought the rosters up there with Bob, because this to me is always that game that on paper you can look at the advantages and disadvantages, and then the coin flips and the whistle blows and the clock starts, and you can throw all of that out of the window. You can do whatever you want with that piece of paper, because this is just one of those games that does not mirror image what's on the paper and then what happens on the field. And we watch this game and say, oh, the Chiefs defense is great and the Chiefs offense is awesome. Buffalo struggles on defense. Their run game is what leads them through every game. And at the end of the day, Mahomes and Allen both throw for 300, 3 touchdowns. Both teams give up 35 plus, and we get back and we've got a cigarette in our mouth at the end of the game.
The last part is pretty accurate, because I just thought last year's game in the middle of the season was so fun, just because everybody was so lustful to see the Chiefs lose, and so for that to happen in Buffalo, their biggest rival in the conference right now, was interesting, because there was a lot of lessons learned for that Chiefs team, despite the fact that we all knew, hey, they're not going to go undefeated during the regular season. This time around, I just want to remind everybody, Hollywood Brown will be on the field. Rashee Rice will be on the field. You're getting a better version of Travis Kelce than you had last year. So that may make this game a little bit more in the Chiefs' favor, despite them being on the road, despite them having a short week after Monday's win over the Commanders. What will be fascinating to me is how often does the Bills want to play at 11 personnel, of course, having 3 receivers on the field, or because you're trying to lean on James Cook, you're actually leading into the Chiefs, advantage, which is having three really good linebackers on the field that don't miss a lot of tackles. Say what you will about Nick Bolton in coverage, or hey, you wish you could get maybe a little bit more from Leo Chenal at times. These guys tackle incredibly well, which allows you to contain an opposing team's running back, which allows you to go after the quarterback on third down. That should be the game plan for the Chiefs. And at the same time, Mahomes has more weapons now than really he's had since about that 2020 season when they, that's the last time, fellas, they actually went up to Buffalo and won a game. So I know it's probably going to be close because the Bills need the game just as much as the Chiefs do in terms of, hey, the divisional race, the tiebreaker when it comes to the AFC standings for the playoff push. All those things matter. But I just think Mahomes is playing really well, and the Chiefs have, I think, more options in terms of how to win the game versus the Bills really needing James Cook to be amazing and Josh Allen to have, a superhero moment or two in the fourth quarter.
Nate, where are we with a couple of the injury guys, Pop, and with Trey as well?
Yeah, so it's a good sign that Trey practiced yesterday. Mm-hmm. He wants to play in this game. We did see him. I did chat with him for like a quick second, Monday night after the game against the Commanders. And so if everything goes fine, I think he will be in uniform. We all know they have the bye week next week. So if you feel like you don't want to push it, you don't have to push it. Mike Caliendo is a very serviceable backup. When it comes to Isaiah Pacheco, I think the Chiefs did the wise thing, which is just, hey, there's no need to put you out there on the practice field. Right. We know we're going to get 2 weeks with the bye week. We do have Kareem Hunt. Hey, it is time to see, if Elijah Mitchell has something to offer, just because he's been on the roster for almost half the season now. And he's further and further away from that hamstring injury that caused him to miss all of last season. So it would be nice to see if Elijah Mitchell had, maybe a good player to be in the mix with the offense. But, yeah, I'm very fascinated to see, okay, young man, you're a seventh-round pick. You got all the talent in the world. You're more known for your receiving skills than your rushing skills. But, yeah, let's see how the Bills react to, Brashard Smith on a screen pass or on a sort of quick-hitting play that allows him to get the ball in space. That would be really fun. And, again, part of what I said earlier, the Chiefs just have a ton of options on offense. When you compare it to, like, actually going back and rewatching last year's game, they threw the ball to Mike Caliendo. That's how limited they were in terms of skill position players they had to offer. And even Xavier Worthy, he was going through his own struggles as a rookie, trying to understand, hey, man, we kind of need you to be a number one receiver because we just have you and DeAndre Hopkins. So this will be really fun because the Bills may have to focus on Xavier and Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. And, there's the ball to Brashard Smith, who could obviously make a couple guys miss.
Nate, I want to bring this up because I'm sure you've had the moment. Maybe it was Monday night watching 87 do his thing. The production of Travis Kelce this year is mind-boggling to me because he's 25 again. Do you think the surge in this year is maybe because of the weapons surrounding him, or does this prove to you that he's not done, or does this prove to you that he's not going to go out without leaving it all on the field?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I don't want to be like a prisoner of the moment, fellas, and be like, maybe he should come back next season. But, like, you're almost at the point where you're like, hey, man, if you know you're going to get another year of Rashee Rice in the offense, Xavier Worthy in the offense, who knows what will happen with Hollywood Brown and Tyquan Thornton, who are, of course, free agents. But, look, hey, man, it's not all on your shoulders anymore. Like, isn't it kind of fun to just be like, there's a bunch of space in the middle of the field because they're worried about other guys who are just as talented as him. This is, again, we're only halfway through the season, ladies and gentlemen, and what really matters to Travis is getting to January, getting there healthy, and obviously, like you said, Dusty, putting everything out there in a way that, he struggled to do in the Super Bowl specifically. I'm almost halfway convinced to be like, I mean, look at the production. The dude's on pace for like a 900-yard season, which is kind of like mesmerizing. But that's why he went through everything he went through in the offseason, to build up, more quickness, to have a little bit more endurance during games, to have a little bit more fluidity in terms of his route running. All of that has shown up. And It's not like Patrick Mahomes isn't going to throw him the football on critical third downs. So he's always going to be in the mix. I just love the idea that, like, you could tell he went into this season being like, hey, man, this could be it. This could be the last season. I wrote about it on ESPN.com. Everybody in the organization pretty much understands that. And then we look up, it's November, and it's like the dude's playing kind of out of his mind for being 36 years old.
Yeah, it's been so much fun to watch him go out there and just kind of dominate, and really use this final season as that swan song to the season. Now, defensively, they bring back Mike Pennell. Great move, I think, for a lot of us. It's exciting. I don't think he ever should have been cut. Obviously, Chris Jones wanted him. It reminds me, Nate, and you'll understand being a dad, you're fine. We're going to take the toy. Just stop talking to me about this. That's kind of how I feel like we are with Mike Pennell. Like Chris Jones, all right, fine, here's your guy.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you matter, okay? I want this to be very clear. Fans matter in this equation, right? If it was not for the fans being like, hey, you dopes, why did you let Mike Pennell go? That's why he's back. Because even though they made the trade to get, a draft pick, in essence, for, and I remember at the time, hey, we traded away, Sky Moore. We got a draft pick that allows us to use another late-round draft pick to get Derek Nnadi. Hey, Derek Nnadi's fine. We all love Derek Nnadi. He is not Mike Pennell. And every knowledgeable fan said that, and for about 2 months, the front office had to just eat it, to where their own best player on defense said, hey, it's go get my guy back. So it's a credit to Brad Veach and the front office to be like, you know what, we were wrong, we're sorry, similar to the parent. Fine, okay, can you act right now? Can you behave at a better manner? But I think Mike Pennell, he could play on Sunday's game, and that could be an important part of, again, containing James Cook, because we've seen what Mike Pennell can do on first and second down next to Chris Jones. He will, devour space. He'll give a little bit more time to Derek Nnadi, because obviously Derek Nnadi can't play a majority of the snaps anymore in his career. So you might actually get a better version of Derek Nnadi, because he's not, the guy that's got to be out there every first down. It was stupid at the time, and it's wild to say, because, I really can't say the Chiefs front office does anything stupid, but it was stupid at the time.
Yeah.
So Chris Jones, and I shot the video and I put it on, Twitter yesterday, and again, the reaction is so telling, because it's just like, yeah, this guy's been a part of the dynasty. Why would you just give him away when he's still a very productive player, and he fits so well in the system? So, fans, you matter. You told the Chiefs this was stupid, and the Chiefs, to their credit, thankfully said, yeah, that was stupid. Let's go bring him back, because he's a good football player. Why would we let him go when he has such a cumulative effect, not only on the locker room, but on your best defensive player as well?
Mm-hmm.
Nate, how does Buffalo steal this game?
Turnovers, some trick plays from the Bills. This is around the time of the season, guys, where I'm like, hey, man, there's 8 games on tape. All right, let's have some fun. I know that we are used to this game sort of depending on who will be the 1 seed, right? Now, the Chiefs still won the 1 seed, even though they lost the game last week. But Sean McDermott, I need to see it, man. Hey, Joe Brady, put some trick plays out there, man. Let's have some fun. Let's go after it. Let's show off some, cool scheme that, you haven't shown yet, because, you knew this game was on the calendar for this particular point in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the Bills need to win this game, ladies and gentlemen, because have you seen Drake May, and have you seen the New England Patriots schedule? It's hilarious. So it's very clear that the teams, I believe, with the inside track to get the 1 seed are the Indianapolis Colts, who are 7-1, best record in the league, and then at 16-2 with a very favorable schedule is the New England Patriots. So the Chiefs could do the Patriots a ton of favors if they win on Sunday. But hey, I just need Josh Allen to just be awesome, man. Increase the level of what you're going to do in terms of scrambling, running with the football. We know what happened on that 4th and 2 play last year, where he actually kept the ball himself because the Chiefs' coverage was that good. So it's not like he has a ton of weapons to throw the ball to. I know Keon Coleman has struggled this season, whereas Xavier Worthy came back and immediately made the Chiefs' offense awesome. So I would just like the Bills to just go for it. Be aggressive on 4th down. Show me a trick play or two. Have your quarterback be a superhero, and try to go shot for shot with the Chiefs, because it's hard to imagine this Bills version of their defense holding the Chiefs to 24 points. You need to come into Highmark Stadium saying we need 30, 35 to really compete with an offense that has only gotten better since Xavier Worthy's come back.
Yep, that's the thing for me. I say each team now is going into a game with a 28-point deficit, essentially, Nate.
Hey, man, put more points on the scoreboard. And by the way, if you know Andy Reid is this incredible, aggressive monster on fourth down who realizes, oh yeah, that's right, I have the best quarterback in the league, and I have the best short yardage running back in Kareem Hunt, I should go for it on fourth down. Then Sean McDermott, you better be ready, man. In terms of like keeping your defense off the field, go for it on fourth down, because that's what Andy Reid realizes. Not only is my defense good, but man, I'm giving them even more rest because we're converting on fourth down. We're keeping the ball longer than our opponent, and we're just squeezing them in the second half. The Bills do not want to be in that scenario on Sunday.
No doubt. Nate, we appreciate the time, and we'll talk to you again next Thursday.
All right, fellas.